Syphilis.
You're very welcome to another episode of The Salvation Show. I'm Paddy Mac.
Alvaro Lucchese.
And Sean McInerney. Good
Dive,
morning.
yeah.
Good afternoon, I should say.
That was so professional and recovered brilliantly.
So professional.
Dive,
We're
yeah.
here, as I say, we're here each and every week, and we just take up different topics. We've been asked about topics and all this, and I want to thank all the people that shouted at me about the Honda 50.
They're always
all
shouting
week.
at you.
But we have a few subjects on it, and one is that a woman is claiming exhaustion for scanning documents on a photocopier.
Yeah, but it's been dismissed. So this lady evidently works in an office or some sort of administration and has cited scanning documents as causing her exhaustion. Well, there might have been a lot of documents.
There is, you see, there might be, you only see one document on the machine.
And, the repetitive injury, doing that. And your God, it must be, and paper's quite heavy.
It is, yeah.
But is there not machines now that you can put a whole dose of them in there and you just press a button?
Well, maybe that's
the
I
copies
don't
you
know.
want.
Maybe she has a sore finger.
You can go away, leave it, and come back to it again. And it's done.
Absolutely. But she's exhausted. But it's been dismissed. I would have loved to be in the room when that happened, though.
So it is.
There
What? You're exhausted? What? How many hours are you down the mine? What?
there is a lot of silly. That's why they always said that,
Listen.
Jesus wasn't from Dundalk.
Why?
Because he fell 3 times and didn't claim once. But but those sort of things. There's a lot of things.
The world got really sick. I think, listen, every generation says the same. I mean, there's nothing new in the planet. There really is nothing new in the planet. I remember, there's just nothing new in the planet. So, has everything got really silly?
I think so.
I just think it's gone really silly.
I hear that woman went to the doctor. She said she was full of pains, that everywhere she touches full of pain. And she stood in front of the doctor and was going, look, oh, everywhere I touch. Doc says, you know what's wrong? She says, well, he says, your finger's broke.
And welcome to the Paddy Mac.
Yeah, you're very welcome to the Salvation Show. And lots of things. You tell me about that one. We'll have to get something in there.
Brother and sister have shown no remorse for assault in which they pelted their aunt with 32 eggs, judge says.
Yeah.
That was obviously they were scrambling for the defence of
Yes.
that
And
Sorry.
I was up on guard
Really
patrol
sorry.
that they were looking for 2 yolks.
one. Oh, very good.
But
I don't know
But
the
why-
circumstances.
why
it's
was
from the
it-
Indo, obviously
Yeah.
a very, very well regarded
Yeah.
broadsheet in the day back. But brother and sister show no remorse. Why did they pelt her with eggs? Were they hard boiled?
Yeah, and why was it?
Were they hard boiled?
Yeah.
Then that's a different issue.
yeah, I think it's something to do with the house, was it? Well, we see. There you are.
A judge has said that a brother and sister who threw up to 32 eggs at their aunt during a 5-minute assault have shown no remorse and no apology for their actions. And it's in court.
That's in County Galway.
In Galway. County Galway.
But it's
I
still.
don't know the detail on this. So
still,
we don't know.
it still doesn't say.
If we don't know the detail, let's pretend we do.
Yeah.
So what was it over?
I-
Was it a family out? Was
I
it
would
over
say-
land? It was a Galway. It's
Yeah.
over land.
It's overland. Yeah.
Overland, yeah. There was a big rock in the middle of the field. Nobody would lift it out. It's my field. It's my field.
Because
I tell you.
their grandfather left land to them, Humpty Dumpty.
What?
And he said, what?
Wait for it. Go on.
And his and no, I'll tell you what it was.
What do, please?
It's the aunt and uncle.
Yeah, go on. No mention.
The,
of uncle, by the way. Go on.
the eggs were thrown at them
Yeah.
because of it was overland. I was reading about this, and their aunt Salmonella and uncle, but what? Salmonella said there's no way we're getting the land.
Moving on swiftly.
Now, Netflix. Netflix.
No, you can get stuff for that, Paddy.
Yeah, is it? Oh, that's yeah. Netflix have been introducing an anti-password sharing method. Every 31 days, your device must log in your home Wi-Fi network on your account, or it will be blocked. Netflix has officially started changing the password.
Netflix are dying for cash. They're strapped and they're afraid and they're doing silly stuff. So, We left them. They got too expensive. They went up to about 14 quid from 8 or 9.
Oh.
Then we went back to it because I was following series. But when you go back in now, it's for one screen is the original price, and additional screens are additional payments. So it's that. It's like, you're really grateful for Netflix. Thank God. It's like Ryanair. It's a love-hate situation.
Yeah. Well, I know that I have Netflix, and if I was to, we say it's on in the front room, and whoever's in there watching it, if I put it on in the kitchen, they come up straight away and say, there's someone using it.
I know. But before it wasn't the case. You could watch multiple screens.
But
the same fee.
Can you? I remember somebody. I think it was a member of the family. That could watch Netflix from his sister or his brother's Netflix account.
But that's what they're doing
That's what
now.
they're doing now.
Yeah,
and did you get any notification that why they were putting up the prices? And did they tell you?
No. Competition, I suppose. But you imagine with competition, I don't know how.
But did you notice it in your bill?
Oh, absolutely. It went up. It went up.
Yeah.
But you imagine during competition, they'd be lowering the price or flatlining or loyalty, prices. But they didn't.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed over that.
Well, there's a lot of things happening. Someone told me from last night that the pint bottle went up €1. And
the drink's going up today, Diageo, and then the rest of the beers did it a couple of weeks ago, and Diageo just matching them. But I think is it $8.50 now for a gin and tonic?
Oh, I wouldn't know. The last time I drank it was 50 cents.
Yeah,
50 pence.
It's €5 a measure now. And the baby, maybe it's $5.50 a measure, $5 or $5.50 for a measure, for a third of a gill, whatever it is, a measure.
Yeah.
And then the baby bottles, where the money really is, because they're not dutied, are like £3. It's nearly £8 for a gin and tonic.
Talking about
Mixer.
Well, I remember going back down to Bridge Street where it says Peter Bennett's. I remember the original Peter Bennett's, and I was playing at a wedding in Newry. And I came back in, and I was going in. My father was playing in Peter Bennett's. My mother, the whole lot, were all there, all sitting on crates and everything. No stools, crates and everything. And I remember going in, and I ordered a pint bottle of Guinness. And I remember my mother shouting, "And I'll have a medium."
A medium?
A medium.
What's a medium?
A medium.
It's a glass of Guinness.
I know what medium is. It's a glass.
Yeah, a glass of Guinness. And I remember Peter Bennett, the man himself, saying, "It's gone up." And I says, "How much is it now?" He says, "It's 11p now." I said, "Oh my God, almighty." Nearly died.
But it's quantifiable, of course. It's quantitative. So 11p in comparison to a week's wage was still fairly okay.
Oh, it was, yeah.
But who can afford to drink and smoke now?
Not.
But they're big tax revenues for the nation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But what they're doing is what they're doing is state-sanctioned taxing addiction. Because we like our pint and we like our smokes. Do you know what I mean? And for everybody, they say we're putting up the cigarettes so you can go off fags. You can go off the cigarettes. A nonsense. The 2% who leave smoking behind after a budget is null and void. It's negated by the fact of the revenues increased by 50p a packet. Anyway, enough of that.
That's total greed.
That's total greed. I was in a pub last night, I bought a pint, the price of it. I was that shocked I had to get a brandy. And then when I saw the price of the brandy, I went home.
Does these prices hikes, did you, the same in the north? It would be here. Is it the same?
Well, it's a wee bit less in the north, but it's not. There was a time years ago where we say it now,
cheaper up north.
A pint in Dundalk, we say, was 65p. This way back, but in the north it was 50p.
I wonder will that start a kind of the bus tours from the south and up to
no? What it will do is it will encourage people not to go out.
Do you think so?
Obviously, of course it will, because people are budgeting already. So what will happen is pub cold-closures. But you look at where we are now in Park Street. There's not a pub open except maybe 2 during the day. You know.
Yeah. And this one.
Well, we are so close to the border, it doesn't really make a lot of.
I don't think there's many.
I think it'll make a
drinking
difference.
No, I don't think there's.
But it's amazing listening to the two of you. You could nearly tell the precise price of alcohol. On the bus, like food.
I could do a shopping list for you. I know what price of food is. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I just thought you.
I know butter's gone up to $3.29 a pound. Oh. Which is a 70% increase.
Is that Kerrygold? Kerrygold is $4.59.
No, in derivatives. Tesco's own brand, Tesco's Little Aldi.
Which is good as anything.
Well, absolutely, but they're all 3. 70% hike. 70% hike in a bottle. What are we looking at now?
Well, we were looking at
McDonald's.
We were looking last week at a camera that hovers around your house and looks after your house for you.
Hey, all right, okay.
And we want to know.
This is Terminator time, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, but there is one now. We're looking on the screen now. You can see it now on the screen. It is another robot, I think, that's in McDonald's takeaway.
It's automated. So
It's
yet again,
yeah.
we're all beguiled by technology, and 60 people have just lost their
It
jobs.
probably is, and a lot of people are saying don't use the
Yeah.
checkout as you pay yourself because people.
Have you seen the robotic waiters in the States? And
There's
in
one of them
Central
there.
Europe?
Look.
Oh, this the guys go around to your table and take your order and talk to you.
No, it's too. It's and I'm not a troglodyte or a Luddite, and it's too much like Western world for my liking. But I remember as a kid, I think I might have mentioned this before, seeing the ad for the Fiat Ritmo, the new car that was coming out in 82, 81, and it was classical music set against the Fiat factory in Torino, with all the mechanization and the robots. I remember we were talking about it at school, that look at it going, it was so modern, so. And I literally, honestly, I remember thinking to myself, where are all the jobs? I was 12 or 14. Where are the jobs gone? Who's going to pay for the mortgages? Who's going to feed them? Where are the jobs gone? This is the way it's going.
It seems
This is
that
the way
way.
it's going.
Yeah.
We're going to be very superfluous,
We will, yeah.
humanity. And the 1% will be sitting back and going, how do we cull them next time?
Yeah.
And you can see.
There's too many of them.
Yeah, you can see now that we say in a pub and there was a row, and you meet the guy the next morning that was thrown out. He says, "Who are you throwing out?" I think it was a Hoover. Threw me out.
There's a thing after coming up there. Fahim, a 15-year-old boy from Bangladesh, chose a shipping container as a hiding spot while playing hide and seek with his friends. He fell asleep and was found 6 days later in a Malaysian port.
Was he alive?
No, he is. Yeah.
All right.
You want to see the tax he was charged with?
I must try that. What did you say?
The tax he was charged deliveries. If good job.
Hide and seek.
Good job it wasn't
Why couldn't I
going.
do that?
Good job it wasn't going to Northern Ireland. He'd never get there with the way the border is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder will they use that now, the Port of Calais. The lads from Senegal. I was hide and seek and I ended up in Dover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God love them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk, a lot of demonstrations here and there.
Yeah, and is it funny how strange bedfellows are made out of one cause that is usually incorrect, and yeah, okay, the government probably didn't handle it very well with telling the local community and all this, but then when you leave a void in information, it's going to be filled, and it's usually filled by those who have a strikingly dangerous agenda. And I understand that some people in the North Wall, certainly in Dublin at the moment, would have issues. But when you listen to the fear-mongering, and literally fear-mongering going on, it's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. And it's based on xenophobia and racism. And that's just it is.
There you go.
Question. Yeah.
You know?
Another question.
Yes.
Does anybody remember the Home of Colonial in Dundalk?
I know of it. I can't remember
Of
it.
course, my uncle Jamie.
Well, our uncle worked there for years.
Earl Street,
And
was it?
It was in Earl Street.
Just the top where the ice cream place was. Just
Yeah.
on the
There was
corner.
there was a lot of places like that where the Windsor is. There was another shop like that, wasn't it? There was
Can't
meat
recollect.
and
Was
stuff.
it Windsor not always a bar?
No, I
It
think
was a bar and grocery. as
Yeah,
far as
bar
I
and
know.
grocery.
That's what it was, wasn't
and
it?
McAllister's in Bridge Street
Yeah.
was the same. And
And
lot
what
of
was it called? Something colonial what?
the home of Colonial.
The home of Colonia. It was
Home
an
and
English,
colonial, yeah.
it was an English
Is it home
But of course it was.
a home and?
Home and.
Home and
and
colonial, yeah.
And that was on Earl Street, just where the
Brendan
ice.
Waters used to have a sports shop there.
Yeah,
and
well,
as
Brendan
did Tommy
yeah.
McConville.
Earl Street.
God
Emerald
rest him.
Sports.
Emirates.
Wasn't it?
And like a lot of people shopped up there for the hams at Christmas and all this. And if you went down to Kieran's, you went down.
Well, then there was Stuart as well, wasn't there?
Stuart's is there
and
as
the
well.
German Salami and Molly Malone's
Yeah,
Ventures.
Molly Malone and Melbourne.
So, yeah, look at all the wee
A
businesses
lot
that
of
are gone,
boys.
decimated because
Now, if
of
you were to come up
supermarkets.
Bridge Street, there was about. You had Frank Murray's Butchers. You had Austin Shaw. Before that was Trainers.
How did they all make a living?
Yeah, you know, but there was that many of them.
The duck wasn't much smaller back then.
No,
Our population hasn't really massively increased.
just a little
Well,
bit.
if you look at the old photographs comes up now and again on Facebook and stuff, it's a lot of footfall. There was no cars, many cars, but a lot of footfall.
Yeah, but there was also a lot of employment. So when you look at market days, there's not men in the streets because they were in the factories or working. You know, when it was the nuclear family for when a family could live on one wage, which is now virtually impossible. You know, and it was very much the typical dad at work, a mum at home.
Well, you had Dundalk was known as the railway town plus the boot and shoe
Jesus,
town.
we had the harbour, the boots, the shoes.
Everything.
You know, railway, 2 breweries, a
Yeah.
distillery.
Coal yards.
You know, it was like a
Courtyards.
busy place.
And round about Christmas, I remember where Kieran's was. I remember a woman going in and looking for a Ravensdale turkey for Christmas.
A Ravensdale.
A Ravensdale turkey for Christmas. And the young fella put up the turkey, and she put her hand up the turkey's arse and says, "That's not a Ravensdale turkey." He was, "Oh." And he puts up another one. She puts the hand up the arse and says, "That's not a Ravensdale." And about 6 turkeys later, he puts up another one, and she says, "That's a Ravensdale turkey. I'll have that." He says, "Okay." So she's looking at him. She says, "You're new here, are you?" He says, "Yeah, I just started during the week." He says, "Oh, it's a great place to work." He says, "It is." And she says, "Where are you from?" He says, "Here, you fucking tell me." but anyway.
On the day after St. Bridget's Day.
Yes,
It is.
the day on the holy day of St. What about St. Bridget? I was just watching a program last night. She's known all over the world.
She is. I watched a program called Finding Bridget the other night. With,
Yes, I was watching it.
Wonderful
I know.
actor Siobhan Sweeney, who played the nun in Dairy Girls, who's a very good presenter.
Yes.
And she covered a lot. She even ended up at the tour in Glastonbury, Wiltshire.
Yes,
Or
That
is it
seems to be a
Somerset,
lovely
Devon?
spot, that last
Isn't it
night.
lovely?
but it's really
But the interesting thing was that historically, that the goddess and the saint occupy 2 different time zones, but yet one and the same person. But also the name Bridget, Breed, means the exalted one. So anybody who was head of the convent monastery, abbess,
Abbas, yeah.
as Bridget was, would inherit the title. So there was like a continuum, a lineage of Bridgets or Breeds.
yeah, there was a lot.
You know,
Even the girl on the photocopy, she was breed.
But it seems that
Exhausted one.
it seems to be that there's a program on radio yesterday about names. What's the most common name and what names are falling off the cliff? they
Yes,
say.
yes.
And Bridget was the one that was
Yeah.
fell off the cliff.
Yes.
But as in young parents nowadays gone back to the old names.
That it always happens. It
Yeah.
goes around in circles. A couple of years ago, then there was a patron with the middle classes for Victorian names, and one was Xerox. And Xerox, we would associate.
I know her.
But yeah, exactly. But Xerox, we associate with computers and what have you.
Yeah.
But Xerox was a Greek deity, and then there was Joy Day. So yeah, Xerox, huh? And your brother IBM.
Yeah.
Come in for your dinner.
And your mother on HRT. But you know, there was a lot of name. And then when something came out on television or something
yeah.
like that, there was a name.
A friend of mine was a buyer for Dunn's many years ago, and she was in North Dublin, near Sutton. I can't remember now, where now, in a Dunn stores. This is the 80s. And these twins ran past her. Now, for the younger generation, won't know who I'm talking about, you'll get it. Blake, Alexis, come back here, I'll kill you.
Yeah, Dynasty.
Now, Blake and Alexis were the main cars from Dynasty.
Dynasty. Was
yeah.
it Dynasty or Dynasty?
Oh, it depends. Daddy had a shop,
Oh,
Dynasty.
it has to be.
yeah, Daddy
No,
had
wait
a
a
shop.
minute.
Blake, Alexis, come back.
No, this is up for debate. I'd say it's Dynasty.
Dynasty. Yeah, Dynasty. We'll go with that. Are you having a scone or a scone?
Oh, I have a scone, certainly.
Scone. Yeah, okay.
Are you having a potato or a spud?
Potato. Depends where I'm ordering it.
And what's the
But
other
I
one?
told you the story that I had a
Tomato,
friend-
tomato.
Oh, it's tomato. Tomato. That a friend of mine, his sister, an associate of mine, a chap that I knew, his sister was working in Alabama as a relief teacher in a high density area of deprivation and literacy was a massive issue. But there were these two beautiful twins, African Americans, called, I think I told you this before. She said, what are these kids' names? She said, that's Orangelo and Limongelo. Orangelo and Limongelo. Oh, she said, okay. She said, where like well, she said, the parents, there's literally issues here. The parents will recognize script and font, but then, they'll break it down. So yeah, they saw it and they liked it, and it's Limongelo and Orangelo. And where did they see this name? In a supermarket. Orange Jello and lemon Jello.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
Which I think is inspired.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely,
but then you have kids called Peaches.
It's
Paddy?
true.
Peaches.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Now stop trifling with me.
Trifling.
Limongelo and Orangelo. And their sister, Angel Delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Aren't
listen,
they funny?
we have one here. 1 in 5 teens between the age of 13 and 17 are almost constantly on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm neither one of those. I'm neither one of those ages, and I do a lot of YouTubing.
Yeah, because a lot of people, where you used to wait for something on television to go back years and all that, you'd be waiting. You sit.
I don't watch TV anymore.
Now you can just click on what you
No,
want.
I can tell you, 13 and 17. That was says they're a lot younger than that.
Oh yeah,
They are a lot longer than that.
my granddaughter's around about 8, and she watches all these
Yeah.
silly little things.
Yeah, but it's like CCTV. It's like putting kids in front of a kids program like Cracker Jack or what we used to have, But also, I just go straight at YouTube. A friend of mine posted recently that it was the anniversary of the sinking of the Princess Victoria, 1953. Lawrence Stranraer, dreadful loss of life. And I hadn't remembered the story, and it was the 7th anniversary. Straight away went on to YouTube and watched a documentary. So that's marvellous for that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? Then my daughter who's 18, going through her mocks, just finished, will ask a question. I said, you literally have the answer in the palm of your hand.
Oh,
Literally,
yes.
you can. Now, obviously, facts are facts, and in this time of enlightened silliness, facts are always need to be double checked. But that's everywhere. That's
Of course. Yeah.
if you read the best thing to do is read 2 newspaper articles and decide somewhere in between whereabouts is the truth. I mean, that's no brainer. That's called editorial discretion. So, but I just love the fact that you can say to me, Alexander the Great was 24 when he, invaded, yada, yada, yada. And I said, all right, okay. And I go straight in and say, right, give me all the information I can gather about Alexander the Great. I love that. And I also like TikTok. I just like stupidity. I love people just dancing from me.
TikTok and mind
Dance monkey
watch,
dance.
isn't it?
The funny thing that I can remember about what we're talking about there was YouTube, and we had it on TV, and the young lad, grandchild, was going to school, play school, maybe 2, maybe 2.5, 3, and he had a thing on the TV, and I said, "Come on, it's time for school now. We have to go. I'm going to leave you to school." And he turned to the granny and said, "Pause that." Now he's only 2.5.
Yeah. Just a new language. What's the language they use?
I was absolutely stunned.
Yeah, it's all part of it now. Like we are here, if we get stuck, if you press escape to get out, it'd be the simplest way. And you're
Right.
looking at it, and a child will come over and just.
But it's their language. But look how much technology, even in the last 10 years. A mate of mine for years was looking to see could you get a copy of The Quiet Man. And when videos went to the wall and then DVDs went to the wall, it's very hard to source the material,
Yeah.
the CDs or the VHSs. So how do I get this on? And they got a new TV. They had to upgrade their TV. And the son got a USB and put it in the back. And this blew their minds. That he could source it on computer, the movie, put it on a USB,
You can put it in your breast pocket.
and
Yeah.
put it
And
into
walk
the
away.
Well, but sure, yeah. I mean, that
Yeah.
level of like, God, you can do that.
Yeah.
And if you say that to somebody younger, they go, yeah, okay, time for the home.
You would.
No,
You would.
it's-
But
it's
you would have
almost sad,
thought.
yeah. Go on
You
away
would have
with you.
thought, like even going back to TV programs of that Space 2000 and all this. Even going back to the Future when he went to 2023, like he'd have a thing. most of the stuff that he had on it
Yeah, but don't you find though
is happening.
that in movie and TV that the imagination of the writers producers is exceptional. I mean, the stuff that we're doing with phones now is what Captain Kirk and the boys were doing
Yeah.
on the Starship Enterprise. What HAL could do in a Space Odyssey is exactly what we're doing now. Alexa. Exactly the same, But my Alexa doesn't like me, so she's turned into HAL.
Well,
I hate her. And
yeah,
I call,
but if
I
you
said, Alexa, you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I said, you are! Find me Nana Muscuri.
yeah.
Gives me a number of Greek restaurant. I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
But not only that, if you are speaking in a room that the Alexa's in,
Oh, yeah.
and you're talking,
they're listening.
and a key word. So now,
They're listening.
Now,
Yeah, because
If-
she said to me the other day I was having coffee.
Yeah.
Marissa just left. Murder kits.
yeah. But now that won't happen anymore because they've got a new one out. It's a man,
Is it?
Alex,
And he can't be
he,
out.
He never
Yeah,
he can't be
listening.
out to listen.
Yeah. What was that? What?
What did you say?
Yeah, that'd be right. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, there's
What
a
are you looking for? You can't have everything, son.
There's a cafe.
Just what
You're
we-
a Mozart.
No, just-
You'll sell a Beethoven.
Talking about
just what we were talking
Yeah.
about earlier on there.
is
about
there's
this
a cafe in Japan called Don Ver something,
Don Verby.
and it hires paralyzed people to control robot servers so that they will still have an income.
Now that's
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
That's
That's not usurping
yeah.
someone's ability. That's enabling them to earn a wage.
Yeah,
All for
that's
it.
good. I'll be
All
all for
it.
that.
Absolutely.
That's
But McDonald's automated drive-through or whatever it's called is just horrendous.
it's just well to let people know
Concept.
you'll see it on the screen. A machine comes down, takes your order, goes away. It comes back out to the window. It gives you a tap of card, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see?
All the machines get together and talk about you.
Does
It's happening.
anybody ever cook anymore? Because the
I
level,
do.
the traffic at McDonald's up here in top of Park Street there,
And they're
it's
closing.
horrendous.
They're building a second story. So
Are they?
I'd say they build it I'd say it comes in kit form because it won't close that long. Because obviously detrimental to their earnings. They're making tens and tens of thousands a week, obviously.
It's fast food.
It is fast food and it can be quite tasty, but it's very quick carbs. Yeah, they go through all the dietary things. And you're starving afterwards. You need a proper takeaway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what?
Like a fish and chip.
Two McDonald's.
Like two McDonald's, yeah. I remember as a kid going up to Dublin in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and we'd stop off McDonald's the way home. That was the treat. Because we didn't have McDonald's in the dog.
And you the shop?
And Daddy had a shop. And we'd stop in, and the food was absolutely shit. And you get the apple pie and burn and murder yourself, pretend you had a great time. Isn't this deadly? We're so American. We are so with it. And by the time we were in hospital on the way home.
Blisters.
But yeah, 30 degrees. Yeah.
But
And literally the pie stuck to the top of your head. It's deadly, isn't it?
but if you go back to, I don't think you maybe you will remember
What?
O'Hanrahan's chip shop. in
Oh, I know of
Alvaro.
it.
Oh, that was
That's where the solo came from, wasn't it?
The original solo came
that
from
was
there.
just brilliant. That was
Yeah.
you look forward to that every weekend.
It was only on a Friday.
You get your sixpence pocket money. You're only from school, you know.
The hatch. Was it a window?
Well, it
Oh,
was
you
a
walk in.
house.
No,
You
the
walk
house
down
was
renovated.
the
Okay.
hallway of a house, and there was a hatch in the wall. But there was this wall, a partition wall, and in behind it you could sit in. The ashtrays were drilled to the counter.
It was just.
You know, and you
Ashes
walk
were drilled
were
to the
drilled
ground.
to the table,
Okay.
and
you
then
know
you
something, Paddy. You were very close to the cinema.
Yeah.
St.
But
Nicholas
of
Hall.
course, of
St.
course.
You went to the
Hall.
picture house and St. Nicholas, a bag over for your solo before you were
yeah.
home.
But
God,
on
mate,
a
it's like a
Friday,
steam rancher's ash.
on
It's
a
got
Friday
lovely-
with the fish and the chips, there was a queue. Now I'm sure a lot of people know where O'Hanrahan's chip shop was. There was a queue from the front door, right round, into the other Laurels.
Right,
With
okay, yeah,
people wait Friday, and when we
Brilliant.
were sent up for chips, you get it in newspaper.
Yeah.
And when it was wrapped in newspaper, they used to say, "Do you want salt and vinegar?" I say, "Yeah, loads of vinegar." Because if you put loads of vinegar, the paper would go moist, and you'd be able to slip one or two out on your way home. That did happen, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Oh, I knew me
But
stuff.
tell me though, seriously, would the ink run? Or would
Oh,
be
it did. Oh, shit, when you were yawning, you had the death notices on your tongue. But you know, the obituaries. You know, it was great. It was great. And then any paper you didn't use. Yeah. But
well, sorry for your loss.
That was it. When you walked in, you asked for a solo, and the solo was a chip and mushy peas.
Well, in Dublin, a 1-in-1 is a fish and chip.
Oh,
A 1-in-1 was fish and chip because, and Robbie's lineage is very similar to my own. So when the Italians came over, well, the Cafolas are here since the 1890s. The Cafola family, they're here for a very long time. The Irish Italian diaspora, and the language barrier would have been there in the early 20s, let's say. So they'll come in and they say, "I'll have a fish and a chip," and okay, oh Jesus, a 1 and a 1.
yeah.
So a 1-in-1 became a
I
fish.
know
and
Nadi.
absolutely.
But I know the 1-in-1 in Dundalk was a bottle of stout and a half one.
A 1-in-1.
1-in-1.
Really?
Yeah, 1-in-1.
Is that called a chaser?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the chaser was the
The whiskey.
No, chaser was the bottle.
chaser
stout.
was the bottle. You drank the whiskey and you used that as a
Chased
chaser.
it down with the bottle of stout.
I would have thought the other way around.
No.
Oh, sorry. I would have thought the other way around.
Well, you were talking about changes. You were saying about videos and DVDs. The video shops came
Yeah,
into town. This fellow went in
Oh,
and
yeah, I
said,
love the video.
he says,
And you were fined if you didn't rewind them.
but he walked into a chip shop and he says to you, man, could I have that wish 3, please? The man says, what? That wish 3. He says, this is a chip shop. Oh. And he walked away, came back. He says, could I have that wish 4? Your man says, listen, it's a chip shop. He said, we're going to have a fish called Wanda. Anyway. But anyway.
The old ones are always the best. So seriously.
Always great.
Definitely.
Or you fella running into the chip shop. He says, "Give me a chip and fish twice." Your man says, I heard you the fucking first time.
I'm glad you came here, aren't you?
Right, next subject, please.
Next.
Moving on swiftly.
next subject is what? Oh yeah, there was the council workers. There was someone told me one this morning that a gentleman years ago. My father was on the bins and all that, and he used to make a fortune at Christmas on tips.
Oh yeah.
And
I still do.
Yeah, but not as much now. When they used to carry the bin and throw it in.
Oh yeah.
And they got drink, and they used to back of the cab be full of stouts.
Yeah.
And they got money and everything. And as time went on, when my father retired, now there was young fellas doing it. And one particular fella in Dundalk went to a certain man's house. He dropped the bin up and he knocked on the door. He says, "How are you?" We say, "James." "Not bad." He says, "I'm the fella that empties your bin at Christmas time." He says, "Oh, great." He says, "I've news for you all." He says, "I'm the guy that fucking fills it." There was no tips after my father and I. Then I remember a guy.
Then they privatised it.
Yeah.
And that was it. You know,
I remember a job in the council. The job was for life.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and I remember this
No,
guy.
they outsourced.
I won't mention his name, but he was very small and skinny.
One whisper.
And no, and he got a job in the council, and he was walking down Castleton Road, just there at Myra Terrace. And he says, "The boys, what do we do?" He says, "Use the jackhammer." He ended up in Falmouth. But
Was that Shaky O'Neill?
but anyway,
Lovely chap.
yeah,
An awful affection.
we were getting serious there for a while. Anyway, what is this? Something about Tesco taking us for a bunch of fools.
Oh yeah.
And that is about
Don't
links.
start me.
Links.
What about links?
Is it?
Oh,
Oh,
that's a scam.
is it?
Yeah.
I've won.
Club cards. You say, "Oh yeah, there's a yellow badge. Get that." So it's product shoving placement. It's like, "Oh, it's yellow. I'll buy it," instead of doing genuine sales and you know, getting rid of stock and what have you. So that what they're doing here is, you go away and you see a yellow one, and the savings are incredible. So even if you don't need it, you're very attracted by saving. If you save a couple of bob, in some cases a couple of quid, you go, I'll have that. It's very clever. And let's face it, these people aren't the size.
I know, but when you
not
have the
being
yellow
clever.
thing on it, but there is a saving on it.
There is a saving on it, but it's not a
Thank
jet.
God,
But what I'm saying to you is that they say we're not going to do sales, we're not going to do specials or runs or a certain month of this. We're going to do the yellow thing, and it's erroneous. It's not. It's not better off for us. It's not good for us ultimately.
Well, I know that
You
if you
explained that very well. Maybe I need some
he
medication.
did, yeah, and he goes to he probably
I take me tablets.
yeah. He
Can you see the colour of the wind? What colour is my wind?
blue.
Thanks.
What is?
What color is the wind?
There's a question for you.
Oh, you should know that, Paddy.
I didn't explain that very well, but yeah, that's what it is. It's a clever. But listen,
But it saves.
but that's why bakeries
Yeah.
are at the front when you walk in to get the smell. That's why, there's a lot of things used. to
And a
convince
lot
us
of
to buy.
things in a supermarket. If you go into a supermarket, and it's been a while since I was down the aisle,
Go on.
but if you go to a supermarket, and you see things hanging up at the side.
Yes.
There could be a back scratcher or anything.
Oh, end of aisle stuff.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
You will buy that,
Oh,
even though you
absolutely.
mightn't need. it.
And all the stuff in the till.
Yeah, but the thing
like
is, I think that the one with the yellow thing in Tesco, I think it's.
Club card.
Yeah, I think it's very good because I bought a coffee machine which was €99,
Yeah.
and with the yellow it was 45.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. If you want it. But there's no point if you have two coffee machines already in the house and you say, look at the savings on that. That's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
I know.
approach.
Yeah,
But that's like every sale. It's like Christmas. I mean, see, how many years do I have to cop myself on before in March I throw out brandy butter? Do you know what I mean? Fucking mint sauce.
you siphon the brandy out of it.
But do you know what I mean?
throw the
But
butter
do you know what I mean?
out. Yeah,
And then the other day in the dining room, I hid them on myself.
dining room.
Sorry, dining room. Yeah, the salle à manger.
Scullery.
Actually.
Your daddy had a shop.
Daddy had her shop. Mince pies. A box of mince pies. So I'd eat them.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
before the sell-by date,
I was thinking
Which
about the
is-
starving children.
which is another year away.
Yeah.
Right, talk about this.
Go
Right,
on,
are you
go
ready?
Well, listen to Paddy.
There's an action figure being made of yourself. What accessories do you think should be with it? So there's an action figure being made of Alvaro.
What do you mean by an action? Is it?
An action man.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
A figure, an action
Yeah,
figure.
an action figure.
What would I come with?
What would you... Yeah.
Be a hat. There'd be a hat anyway. There'd have to
But
be a
what
hat.
what image would you like to tell people this action figure?
Well,
is
I'd like to use less plastic than I have on me, fat-wise. Maybe a slimmer version.
Yeah. So
What
you-
accessories? What accessories? I don't know. You come with a guitar.
Possibly, yeah.
You come with a measuring tape.
You think
I'm
so?
free.
Absolutely, I'm free.
I'm free.
Counter reference. What would I come with? Just, I don't know. Can you package a fabulousness?
No.
No. Not in your case, anyway.
Shut your mouth, you. Yeah, I don't know.
But you know, brandy bottle.
Why would it be brandy bottle?
Because I never stop fucking talking about brandy bottle. But and your mince pies.
I'd like mince pies
Would
and
you
brandy bottle.
no, but all you were talking about there was food. Would you not just come as a blob?
Silence.
Silence.
I would say cunt, but this is going on the air.
I'm free. No, I'm only joking.
You're not.
I am, honestly.
You're fattest.
It's not. Who said you were fat?
And you like when I'm fat because there's more of me to hate.
We're all on diets.
Yeah.
Seafood diet.
Yeah.
When he sees food,
It's amazing. No matter how much weight you lose, your mouth's always the same size.
Yeah. No matter where you sit in the room, I'm always beside you.
You sit there, lassie. Your arse is that big. When you pass the television, I miss 4 channels.
But years ago, quizzes in
Yeah.
the pub.
Oh, yes. I love.
Oh, they were great.
Love a table quiz.
Yeah, I love it too. I remember.
Love a table quiz. That's from IKEA. That's a Chippendale. That's a folding one.
Yeah, I remember
Table quiz.
table quiz. I
That's a side
remember,
table. That's an occasional one.
yeah, I remember
on.
the Shea Factory in Dundalk, Weinberg, and there was
Oh, yeah.
there was an inter-factory quiz, and we're sitting there. I won't mention.
Where'd you
anything.
work for?
Weinberg.
Weinberg.
And
That's
the back
American.
of-
That's American.
The
call.
Was that was the back of Hyde Park, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the Court Road.
Yeah, the back Hyde Park. Yeah,
Massive
back.
fact. But it originally
Remember it?
started where Anchor was, Manpaw. That was the original first factory.
All right, okay.
Foss, where Foss is.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the original Weinberg, and then they built
They
it.
built up a bit further.
But I remember being at a quiz one night, one of the boys was asked to spell pint, and he says, what colour? And then there was another one. This actually happened in a pub. It was in Dixon's pub, and there was 4 on the team, and they were asked a sporting question, and the answer was Motherwell, football.
Okay.
And the boy,
Scottish,
yeah, the boys. But there was another guy on the team. He was always nosing about, looking about. The boy says, "Yeah, we confer." They just said, "Motherwell." No, she wasn't well this morning. She wasn't well. I think she did those to the skaters.
We're in a bar, and we can't go near anything.
I know, it's awful. Yeah, well, I don't mind anyway.
Well, you're teetotal.
I'm teetotal, teetotal.
Absolutely.
What's this
I
here?
can't see that.
It says,
It's in Chinese.
it's in Chinese, and when they take your Visa card, they say, "Thank you for the ride. Please use again."
But I think that's only polite.
I think it's lovely.
In all circumstances. Instead of saying, leave the money in the counter and close the door
But
behind you.
doesn't that happen to say that, I was taken for a ride, they charge you too much?
That's very
No,
true.
so there you could be. Thank you for. Now,
That's a beautiful video of Michael Jackson practicing his moon circle in the early
Is that
1980s.
him?
that's
Rare footage of
that's
Michael Jackson
here 2
practicing
weeks ago.
his moon circle
Merc
in the
circle,
early 80s. Was that after his first nose job because he's got a plaster on him? He has, though.
I think it was right after the fire on his hair.
I think so, yeah.
The Pepsi thing, that's right.
He got his hair
He
burnt.
took the challenge that day, certainly.
He's learning how.
But he was truly a magnificent
Could you
artist.
do that,
Seriously.
Alvaro? You know?
Yeah, I can do
He
that.
done. He
Yeah.
done it 2 weeks ago here.
I can do that, yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
It must be a sight.
And if there's 20 people in front of me, I can do that lean.
Oh, very good. Yeah, yeah.
We'll have to
I
put it
find
back.
that very hard to do now. I couldn't.
With the price of drink, you'll be leaning back. And what?
I'm never going out again.
What?
I'm going out once a month, that's it.
But you'd
Then we
ha-
cans at home.
you could nearly put a deposit. You'd have to put a deposit
But
on the drink.
no, all joking aside.
It is all. I remember in that pub again, Peter Bennett's, when I remember one man saying, "Oh, it's
Are we
got-
sponsored by Peter Bennett today?
no, it's gone." But this is the old Peter Bennett. It's gone up. But I'll tell you what. When the drink becomes £1, that's it. I'll never drink again. You remember that? And the whole pub says,
Many people said
"Yeah,"
that.
and you're right. And you're right, Josie.
Yeah.
I'm giving it up.
Oh,
to
when those fags reach 150, £2,
That's it.
That's it.
What he is at? What he is at?
Yeah.
What are they now?
14, 15. I don't know. For a packet of 20, is it €16?
€16.
It's not, is it? Thank God I give them up.
And
There's
what is a
Do you
pint?
smoke, Robbie?
A pint would be 5.20 or
So did I.
5.40.
Oh,
Isn't that right? 5 pint again
Anyway.
would be 5.
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I remember in one of your favourite pubs, and it was called Sexton's, but now it's
Tatas.
Tatas.
Well, O'Gara's Tatas.
I think
yeah.
Desi Corbett walked in there at one time.
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm
No, and you know the optics on the wall, there was the
Yeah.
gin and the tonic and the powers and all that sort of stuff. Desi put up a bottle of stout, and he locked it in the optic, you know. Went up that much. That's right. Bottle, not a word.
For a piss take, yeah.
there's a lot of pubs that closed. Do you remember where the Ploughman's was? Oh,
Oh, at the back of my courts.
did you take that down? The back of my courts, and you can just
Yeah, the very back door of my courts arcade onto the wall of the back wall of
just beside the
PJ
cinema.
Carroll's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
PJ Carroll's.
Patrick McCourt's.
Yeah, Paddy McCourt. But when you came down the back, the gate, but the doorway, not the gateway, where you used to come through. But I remember the arcade there. I remember the Christmas market there.
Yeah, I remember
And
playing.
the cafes on the way
Yeah.
down.
And Desi Carbo was the manager of that.
Oh, the Plemons.
Of my courts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of great pubs, a lot of singing pubs in them days. Like there was where the Jocelyn was, that was McEnany's,
That
was a great singing pub.
Absolutely.
and everyone would be singing either
John
Spanish,
McEnany's father had that.
either Spanish Eyes or And I Love You
Oh,
So.
blue Spanish eyes.
And then
Our Teddy.
yeah, then
Yeah.
there was
Cockeyed cop, optimist.
yeah.
He was the oldest roadie in the country.
And he had polio.
And he was a roadie for my father.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. If my father was
grandfather's
playing in Siberia, Daddy would be there.
He was a great character.
Great character.
Well, my father played in MJ's in Bridge Street, and then he done.
I was past the other day.
he done.
Kate said to me, "How long is that pub closed?" I said, "Just a wee while." She said, "It's an old pub." I said, "Kate, that pub is there decades and decades and decades."
What pub is that?
MJ's. Wills, beside the Green Church.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
What one are you talking about then?
The one in Bridge Street, the one facing
beside
John's Lane. Yeah,
I beg your pardon.
And my father played
sometimes I do
it.
listen.
But nowadays, as a musician, said no. When you have a guitar, you go in and buy a pack of strings, and you'll change them every.
Where would you buy them?
Well, B-sharp music. There's another plug. I'd buy. We say.
No, but back in the day.
Oh, in the back in the day, it was Eddie McGuire's.
Oh, Comiskey's.
No,
Comiskey's.
but before Comiskey's, it was Benny McGuire's.
Oh, on Bridge Street.
No, on where Benny McGuire's pub was. Do you know where Conlon's?
It was on Bridge Street.
No, that was Eddie McGuire's.
Who's Benny?
Benny was the brother.
Related, wasn't it?
Benny owned the pub Benny McGuire's, which is
okay.
beside.
Yeah.
But on the front of it, he sold televisions. But he also had
yeah.
guitar strings.
Right.
And they were all Hofner strings. But you walked in and you got one. And my father used to say, well, you go up and get me a first. And you go up and you buy it and you come down, you put it on his guitar. But when that shop closed, if you broke a string, that was it. You had to play with whatever strings you left.
Why? You couldn't get strings anywhere in the
No, you couldn't. Well, you wouldn't have a pack with you. You know, you'd buy them once. But I remember my father playing in MJ's one night. And, of course, the first string went. Second string went. So that only left him with four strings. And but still got through it because there was the main bass end of it. And I remember this fella coming in, looking, I know all, but knew fuck all, and says,
A lot of them, but
George, you've only 4 strings. He says, I've news for you, I've only 4 fucking fingers. And, but that was the way you bought the strings in Benny McGuire's. At the front of it where he sold television. Brilliant. And then you had the pub down the back, which was known as Benny McGuire's. And it was also known as Chivago's.
Oh,
Chivago's. But when it closed down, someone said that when it closed down about a year later, they were going in to clear it out. And underneath the stairs, open, and there was 2 fellas there. Is the guards gone yet?
Were you ever in a pub when it was raided?
Oh, was I?
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
Here, I'll give you a gem. Blackrock, the Gaelic. Myself and the brother, the Merrimacs were playing it.
Where's the Gaelic?
It's the Stonehouse now.
Oh, yeah, gotcha, yeah.
It was the Stonehouse then too, because everybody came out of it was Stone. And myself and the brother...
Oh, you mean drunk?
Yeah. Myself and the brother Michael were playing there one night. And the place is chock-a-block. And we were finished, and the guards were in the hall taking names. And everybody grabbed a piece of equipment. The nonsense of it, yeah. Everybody grabbed a piece of our equipment and walked out, with the band, because the band never got the name because they were taking stuff. But there was this outfella from Hill Street walking out with a mic stand, and the guard says, "You're not the fucking lead singer, are you?" He says, "Am I what?" He says, "I'm the backing singer," and walked out. Honest to God, and we ended up. I think we got a.
The guard said, "Who the fuck's playing in here? Is it James Last?"
Yeah, he said, I think we got our names taken because we had no equipment to take out.
We were at Tony O'Kane's one night, and there was a raid on. I mean, you're talking about 12:30, 1 o'clock. 7 people in the bar having a crack, like not planning a robbery or any nefarious carry on.
Yeah.
And they came in, and the guard said to Dipna, "God, your pub is spotless." Sure, thanks. He said, "One it be?" He said, "You have 7 cleaners." We all picked up a mop, or cloth, or a beer mat. But I remember leaving the pub one night, recently enough, after hours, the shame of it, and the pub down the street, the band was still going strong. And you go, God, that really is a ridiculous notion, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, some people take it to the extreme, but I remember being in a pub and it was quite local where I lived. And Sunday night it was 10 o'clock closing, and he was in the depths of winter. he would open the side door, right? And the breeze was coming down, right? I won't say where it was, the Graveyard Hill, and he would walk in with a keg on a barrow, and dressed in white short sleeve shirts.
I think I know.
In other words,
yeah.
this time you were home at the house at 10
Absolutely.
past 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Remember the holy hour?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember the holy hour?
Yes, from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I remember it.
And it was 2 hours. It was that holy. You get 2 hours in one.
Yeah. We were just talking about that on Good Friday when everything stopped at 4 o'clock.
But Good Friday's finished now.
Yeah, that's all.
And it was great. It was a shame because Good Friday was always great for a house party.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were mental.
Yeah.
The Irish were mental. One day we were at a pub. We were buying five trays of 24 cans, just in case we run out.
Yeah.
2 litres of brandy,
And as I
4
said,
litres of vodka,
as I
and
said
1 litre
before,
mixer.
the forge in Falkhill was absolutely chock-a-block. Now, there was
They run buses to it. There was a
there
bus run.
Yeah, there was 1,300 people working in Echo at one point in time, right? And I say all the men who worked in that factory drove out or got buses out to the 5 mile out the road where the pubs are open, and it was
The
chock-a-block.
panic was
Oh, the
real.
panic was
the
serious.
panic was real.
And on Christmas morning.
I remember that the off sales and the supermarkets, the drink section. It was like a gang of Floridians waiting for a hurricane. It was unbelievable. I mean, there were mass killings for the Guinness.
Well, in here,
Amazing.
where we are in the Viper Room,
Now I'm trying to remember. This was
this was the Fane.
The Fane.
Yeah. Now,
Best sandwiches in town.
Joe Duffy mentioned it the last time.
Down this
Going
way.
back, it was the Woodwin. The Woodwin.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah. But I remember we were playing. It's very hard to say. It was in the corner over there. There was a stage, a box stage, and we were playing over there. But what they had was nobody came out from behind the bar. They just disappeared, and your little man Seamus put on the tape recorder, and it was distorted. It was Des Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, please, could we have your glasses? And I went on. I went on. I went on.
Really? Get
It was
out.
that bad. Even fellas wearing glasses give them back. You know, it was terrible. And then there was another one, Conifee's pub.
Harry and Mary.
Right,
Mary.
ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to go home. They say, oh, great, but you have to leave here.
Yeah. Excellent.
That was
Like
a great
one.
one.
That was a great
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Conifee's,
Have you no home to go to?
Dundalk lost another great character this week, Jerry Foran.
We did. We spoke about Jerry last time.
I wasn't here.
But,
But
great,
what a wonderful
great.
entertainer.
I remember
nice man,
Jerry playing in the Wine Tavern, and we were just after becoming 18 when we said we were 18. I went into the Wine Tavern, and it was just straight across. It was a long place. And I remember sitting, I was just learning the guitar, and someone says, Paddy Mac, he plays a bit of guitar, and Jerry says, young gentleman, come up for a song, playing the guitar. About an hour later, he came back and says, that's enough, kid. An hour later, I was playing, and I think that's what they're going. But there were simple days, you know.
Good days.
You could go up to town with a fiver, go to the Delphi, go to the Wine Tavern, get chips on the way home, and still have money for chocolate gold grain in the morning.
Because that's because you nuked into the cinema. You went to the toilet every time we were around the pub.
No,
And
someone
you
said
met somebody to buy you a bag of chips.
Yeah, so you used to say, can I have 3 pints and a Horlicks? And you say, what's the Horlicks for? It's for you. You're always asleep when I go around.
Yeah.
But they were
I know
great.
them ones as well.
Yeah, they were great saying.
At the time, yeah. Good night.
Yeah.
Just I have to go now because my wife, I told her I'd be home at 10.
Yeah, I told
No,
you.
but it's your round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave her with me.
Yeah.
They're
leave
still
her.
I
out there.
hate that. I hate
Oh,
that.
they're still out there.
Yeah.
Or the best one is you're walking down the
She
town.
goes into rounds. You can't afford to go into rounds. Go on, you.
Yeah.
Town.
No, you're walking down the town and you meet some well-known fellas. Any chance of €1 for a pint? I says, there's
And a
€2.
time machine.
Get me one.
Yeah. €1
You
for a
know.
pint and a
Yeah.
time machine.
And a time machine is right.
Yeah, but nobody does rounds anymore.
No rounds, no.
No, you can't.
What? What do you used to say? We go Dutch. You said it earlier on.
Yeah, go Dutch.
What does it mean by we
Dutch
go
half
Dutch?
door. The half door was Dutch. You know the door top and bottom?
Yeah.
So the animals couldn't escape or the kids.
In the house?
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. So the door would open at the top and at the bottom. And for some reason, maybe the Dutch had developed it, was called a Dutch tour, so it was going half and half. Going Dutch. Not that you were stoned wearing clogs, even that can be fun too. But it's half and half.
I used to wear clogs in a show band back in the 70s.
Clogs?
Clogs, yeah.
How very with it.
But there were wooden bottoms, so there was leather across.
I know what clogs are, you had again.
Yeah, I know, but they weren't.
Why was that, Paddy?
It was just a
Well,
style.
you weren't working for the Dutch tourist board.
No,
I
it was the
understand
style.
that.
It was like when we get into a dance hall, a bit like a
But I mean, that would have been fabulous
dozen
with the Spanish
horses.
here, with the Spanish flares.
Oh,
Mm.
I remember the
and all the, what was it? All the trousers were like the lower, no ballroom.
yeah.
In the 70s, every man had a camel toe for nothing. I've seen the pictures.
And there used to be the elephant flares. You remember, you walked, the town of Dundalk was spotless. Because there were roads, you were walking up the town and all the brushing. Now they have a machine for that. It's called the elephant machine flare. It was
fucking spotless in the 70s.
And then a cheesecloth shirt.
Oh.
And in the winter, your nipples coming through one of those.
Oh, yeah. Well, our lads had seersucker.
A what?
Seersucker was a fabric, like cheesecloth was pulled.
seersucker, yeah.
And then she had the corks. Remember the rockers?
Oh,
Tall cork ones.
and there was a hole. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
oh,
Yeah,
this is a
that was
story.
for the water to go through.
There was a hole in the heel, for I don't know what reason, and there was a core in it. There was like a
Yeah.
plastic core. So I just remember one day watching Blue Peter. Valerie Singleton or somebody else had just finished building a space station, and you happened to need cylinders. I said, where can I find them? So I went up to our lass's room and took them out of the shoe. They worked brilliantly. That was very good in my model. And then she was somewhere, the Banana Club of the downtown, giving the footsies, the wallies, and fucking callops. the shoes give way.
The shoes give it the cork. The cork.
So
give
she went
way.
from 5'11" to 3'2", like that.
No,
It was this height.
I know.
The
if
corkers were literally,
yeah.
with the 6 inches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huge shoes.
I know if Joe Duffy's watching this, he'll remember this so well. We were playing in a band called New Revival.
He was New Revival.
Yeah, it was Joe, myself, Ben Quinn, and Daddy McCabe. And we were after getting new blue flares. I mean,
What colour blue? What
bright,
shade of blue?
bright
Sky blue, royal blue, navy
sky blue.
Oh, beautiful.
And there was I think it was a green top. I don't know, but it was show band stuff.
Right, okay.
And we were trying them on, and of course you had to wear your platforms.
But of course.
So the platforms were nearly as big as your lass's cork.
Corkers, yeah,
shoes.
the rockers, yeah.
Anyway, we arrived up to play in the Crow and Cock in Castlebellingham.
Gone now.
Gone now.
I passed it, Kilcern.
Yeah.
Is it
It's not. It's gone. I passed it
Gone,
yesterday.
yeah.
Go on.
And we were going up to play there.
Brilliant venue.
And we'd all the gear set up. And we went out to change. And as you know, I'm 6'1". I put on the platforms and come out. And the mic stand was at my belly button. And I says to Joe,
You were like Lurch.
I know.
From the Addams family.
I says to Joe, this won't go up any further. So I had to take off the platforms and play. Someone thought I was sinking into the ground. Because the elephant flares were all over. I was like a bridesmaid. Revisited.
Oh, shit. Is that okay? Right. Well, listen, we didn't mention our lovely sponsor.
Oh, yes.
I can't pronounce it. Carry on.
Cleveland.
Thank you.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Cleveland Candle. They're done by a young lady. Her name is Cleveland Candle. Is it?
This is Kilkenny today.
No, Kilkenny.
Yeah.
Well, mine is Carlock, which is
Yeah, but
Carlow.
just to let people know, the candles that give you the smell of the county.
This is that's a nice that one. So this is Kilkenny.
Yeah,
Black marble rose and oud. Oud? O-U-D.
Oud.
No,
God,
this,
that's lovely. Hang on,
oh,
the description.
this is
County Kilkenny is also known as the Marble City because
because they play
of
marbles.
its history of exporting black marble. Kilkenny today is an enchanting destination garnished with castles, historical architecture and beautiful countryside. It has been voted the best Irish town for tourists. The candle has an intense woody floral fragrance, introducing subtle fruity top notes. That sounds like a wine. And a rich red heart of rose and What's that? Geranium.
Oh,
I was thinking gurnanium.
good nanium.
Gurnanium.
Well, listen,
I love that flower gurnanium.
The lovely candles, they are available. You can
Right,
check.
give me the hook.
You can check it out. The Queven, isn't it? Queevna candles, and they're beautiful candles. And we'd like to thank Queeva.
I haven't lit mine yet.
I've lit mine, and I've lit.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I've lit. Yeah,
That's good.
I've lit mine, and it's actually travelled around the whole house.
I haven't lit mine yet, but when I do, because there would be a crackles.
Anyway, listen, we've come to the very end. I hope you enjoyed some of the topics. We got a bit serious as a start, but we just let you know about a few. If you have a topic that you would like us to go up, like any topic, just let us know. You can put it in the comments under when we share it, and we will bring it up for you anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's goodbye from Paddy Mac.
And goodbye from Sean McEnany.
And goodbye from them.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie. Chris.
Bye-bye.